Good morning, everybody. This is former Constable Stephen Wiggs of the 16th Ward, Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I'm coming to you guys this morning on October 30th, to clear up just a bit of some miscommunication between me and a few individuals, or maybe just one, from a podcast. I'm not going to mention the podcast, right? Well, actually, the podcast is Wandering Hippie. He's a cool guy, gave me an opportunity to voice on his platform. He showcased my channel, and it was great. Whether it's going to be positive feedback or negative feedback, this is YouTube. So the reality is everybody's not going to like you, and that's just what it is. But what I am not geared toward allowing to happen is someone just simply running off with ideals in terms of what I say, and just think that I'm going to sit by if it's not factual. Me and this woman kind of got into it. It got pretty heavy because, people believe what they see that comes out in the news. A lot of people believe what they see that comes out in the news. And a lot of people believe what officers and judges and district attorneys put on reports. I've learned through my career and the fights that I've had against the judicial system in Lehigh County, in my former county, that if someone wants to burn you, they could use their celebrity to burn you and make you look less likely to be truthful just by the swing of their pen, and this is how many people get done terribly wrong. One of my partners told me that was also done wrong by the system and found to be 100% in the right. He told me that a person said to him, an older woman said to him, if I see whatever it is in the news, I believe whatever it is in the news. So basically, a news reporter can ultimately dictate how people on a mass level view you. So if a news reporter has that kind of power and they are actually lying, or they just don't have all the information and put out the information the right way, or if they just simply got a hidden agenda, to sway or taint the truth, they have the ability to do so with a large number of people, because people out there only believe what comes out in the media. And I'm telling you, the media just do not 100% of the time support all the facts, because if the media is bought off by the system, then they're not going to promote what is supposed to be promoted. They're going to taint the truth. And I'm not the first one to say these things, man. This happened to multiple people. And what this woman was doing was she was throwing out things that just wasn't factual. You know, one of the things that she was saying was constables. Now, this wasn't in the media in such a way, but she thinks she knows about the office of constable. I didn't want to wholeheartedly talk about the authority of the constable to make it seem like we're better than anyone or whatever, or you know, power tripping on in some kind of element there. I was just throwing out the idea of the authority so people understood what my stance was when you see my videos. You know, one of the things that many people continuously overlook is the fact that I faced off with the troopers in Philadelphia County and against them when they charged me with impersonating, and they charged me for my firearms. And the reality is this: there's only one way you could beat those charges. There's not multiple ways you could beat these type of charges. An impersonating charge, there's only one way, and that is you have to be the officer. You know, you have to be the officer. You know, you don't get charged with impersonating and then fight it unless you're actually the officer, and you're not going to come out on top unless you were the officer. In my New Jersey case, you know, they're throwing around that I pled guilty to impersonating. I did not plead guilty to impersonating. You know, I pled what we call a conditional plea, and I've explained that multiple times. That's not a guilty plea. You know, not to me, you know, and not to the judge, because the judge is the one who gave the idea to actually do the conditional plea. What is a conditional plea in New Jersey? A conditional plea is where you admit to what you have done, and then you go back to court and prove, or you go back to court on appeal and prove that you weren't wrong for doing it. But the reality is the charges will stay on you, or the conviction will stay on you until the appeal date, and you have actually overturned the decision. But still in all, to those that will be in the knowing, it is a conditional plea. Now, what would it say in the eyes of the people? I guess it'll say I pled guilty. But the reality is it's a conditional plea. I pled guilty to carrying a firearm into New Jersey. Yes, I did not plead guilty to impersonating. That right there is something that I did not know was going to happen. After we made the agreement to do that conditional plea for that specific charge, for the gun charge, mysteriously out of nowhere, people are calling me saying that I pled guilty to impersonating. And I guess New Jersey could not get the gun charge if they did not get the impersonating as well. So I did not plead guilty to impersonating. They threw that in there, and I had no idea it was going to happen. My lawyer did not have an idea what was going to happen either. Me and my lawyer did not talk about that. You know, we had no understanding, and I see my lawyer's face, and I knew that it was a face of sincerity, that he did not know the judge was going to do what he did. You know, we didn't know what was coming. We did not know. So, this is where the judicial system just does their thing with screwing people over. You know, now also, this woman was talking about the idea that in my Pennsylvania case with the judge and against Lehigh County for you know, my address. Like I told a couple times over and in court, okay, I lived in Allentown. I lived at the address, and the owner of the address testified to that. How I spent my time there is on me. You know what I'm saying? That's my choice. Okay? If I want my privacy, you know, he is a man that has a family. He's a man that had a family, a full house. He gave me an opportunity to stay at his house, and I much appreciate him openly for it. Him and his wife for it. They gave me a roof over my head when I had lost my house. Okay, I'm going out publicly. I'm not throwing their names out there, but the reality is they looked me out. And the district attorney's office, the district attorney himself of Lehigh County, the elected official, me and him, a lot of people don't know, had an argument in a diner before he launched his investigation. He was, I mean, me and him bumped heads slightly once before, but it wasn't strong enough for him to start looking into how I was spending my time at my house. Okay? So then, after he realized that I was not one to be a sheep, but a wolf, I stood my ground against him inside that diner. He launched a malicious investigation like as if I was some career criminal, like as if I was trafficking women or children, like as if I was a pedophile looking at little girls and boys and stuff like that, you know, or a drug trafficker. He started following me back and forth to New Jersey as I would visit my wife and my kids and things of that nature. Yeah. And what I didn't know was also that I found out on this court date, May 16th, 2022, was that the Pennsylvania State Police also had me under surveillance since 2019, since August 12th of 2019. You know, they've been following me since the day that they were forced to give me all of my police gear back, my car, my cruiser, and my firearms back, because it was that upset that these guys launched a malicious investigation, following me everywhere. And the trooper testified that there was no criminal investigation on me. So it didn't make any sense as to why they were following me since 2019. This was before the district attorney launched his investigation. But then when the district attorney launched his investigation maliciously, following me in his argument in the diner, okay, the troopers and the county detectives of Lehigh County joined hands, joined forces, you know, and they got clearance also. They also got clearance to put up pole cameras around my wife's house. I don't know. And my wife lives in Newark, New Jersey. So I don't understand how New Jersey just conspired with them to let them put pole cameras up. I'm like, what did they say to New Jersey for New Jersey to let them put up pole cameras? What did they tell New Jersey I would do? What criminal act did they tell New Jersey I was doing that they allowed Pennsylvania to put up pole cameras in Newark, New Jersey to monitor me when I would visit my wife and children? I don't understand. So this woman had this idea to attack my status, my residency, repeating what the news said, repeating what this judge said, repeating what these people have said like it's factual information. Like, you know, they wanted to call it an address of opportunity. The reality is simple. I was a state officer. The constable was a state officer. The constable is not a local officer. He's a state officer. Okay? I spent time, many times away from my house. And even when I would be in Allentown, if I wanted my privacy, I couldn't get it going home because I'm in a house full of individuals, So if I want to talk to my wife privately, or if I just wanted some time away from myself or whatnot, that's what I did. I would stay in my car, relax in my car, my cruiser, and that was that. Now, they talked about how my cars was never around the house, and I'm like, well, listen, these people look me out, and the kind of man I am, I'm like this. I'm an officer of the law. I still make apprehensions. Not everybody's going to be happy with those interactions with me because they're being arrested. Not that I disrespected anybody, but at the same time, if there's any anti-police mindsets going on, and that's the function of my agency, I don't need these people being assaulted on the account of me. So I chose to park my vehicles away from the residents, okay, to look out for the people that looked out for me. And that was a choice that I made. But these people wanted to make a highlight saying, he don't live there, and then when I would go home, I never parked my car on the street. I never parked my car on the street itself. I parked my car in the parking lot. So if it was out of the view of their cameras, then it was out of the view of their cameras. They want to cherry pick when they saw somebody going in the house. I wore hoodies, and I'm pretty sure they saw me, but they want to cherry pick. They want to say that they didn't see me in 9 months. How in 9 months I'm getting my mail, but they never see me going to the house? How am I getting my mail? It don't make any sense. How am I getting dressed? How am I getting my clothes? How am I getting everything? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, are you kidding me? This is the type of stuff. So basically, these people can use their celebrity and destroy your character, and nobody will question them, just like this woman. This woman did not question them. She just believed everything she saw, and she came in like a bull in a china shop, wanting to bash me and all kinds of stuff, man. And I see that, a few subscribers unsubscribed because they were believing what she was saying, apparently. But I'm okay with that. I'm not tripping over this stuff in terms of subscribers in such a way. The reality is not everybody's going to like you. But at the same time, my mission was to set the record straight. And I'm doing this right now. I'm not trying to mention this woman's name or her page or anything like that. I'm not trying to give her that kind of airtime, but I just want people to understand that, I'm not running, arguing with someone that believes they're right wholeheartedly, and the factual information. Like, for example, she was saying that I didn't have statewide authority, or that in a video I mentioned that I mentioned the word police in a video at the door that me and these other officers were knocking on. Constables are police officers, so we have the ability to yell the word police. Anybody that is a peace officer, even if they are not wearing the word police, they have the authority to yell the word police because they have the authority of arrest. A lot of people don't like it when the constable is out there moving like that, because of the simple fact that many people of influence throughout the years made it appear as though made it appear as though constables weren't police officers, and it is the biggest lie of all time when it comes down to the law enforcement community and the citizens. It did the citizens a great disservice. I had mentioned that there is federal case law identifying the constable as a police officer, because a female didn't think the constable was a police officer and didn't think that the constable had the authority to arrest her for disorderly conduct. And it came out in the federal court. So if I'm telling you it came out in the federal court of the case Galouse versus Miller, I would like for you people to research Galouse versus Miller in Pennsylvania. Galouse versus Miller in Pennsylvania. Okay. It's federal case law. You will see on between page 14, 15, 16, the constable is being mentioned as a police officer by the federal court. And it's given the explanations why. It's given statutes, it's saying based upon statutes, researching and citing statutes and case law for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The federal court came to the conclusion that a PA constable is a police officer. Okay. And this is the stuff that, you know, now I'm not throwing this again. I'm not throwing this out there because I'm trying to be gun-ho with the idea of power and stuff like that. That's not what this is. Okay? I'm simply telling you guys that these things, because the actions that I have taken were of a police manner, and I'm just identifying the fact that the constable is a police officer. So therefore, the actions that you guys have seen me taking in my videos are warranted because of the constable being a police officer. And that's the role. This is the job. You know, now the woman said that I didn't have statewide authority and she did not elect me. I was elected out of Allentown and things of that nature. Like, yo, this major misconception. It's easy to see that the constable is a state officer. It's too easy. I think I told this audience that I could be from Allentown and work as far as Pittsburgh, about 6 hours away from Allentown, and work there as if I'm out of Pittsburgh. I could be there the same. The constable's office of Pennsylvania is no different in jurisdiction than the Pennsylvania State Police. Okay. Like, this big misconception about the powers of the constable and the stretch of the constable. I mean, this woman just had this idea that we were paper pushers because constables led her to believe that. Other agencies that don't know any better led citizens to believe that. Okay? And the laws are blatant. It's right there. I mean, I'm giving enough. You know, so to this woman that I had this argument with, I want to sincerely apologize for the yelling. I want to sincerely apologize if you were misled by the people, other law enforcement agencies, other constables. You know, I want to apologize, man. And I want to apologize to the people out there in general for the lies that the constables have told throughout the years. I want to apologize to other law enforcement that, you know, it's because of our constables conforming to telling lies, that, you know, many law enforcement agencies don't really know how to interact with us constables in Pennsylvania. You know, so now another thing is, this woman had this idea to say that, like, she wanted to be upset that after I got done dirty by a system, I was still willing to try to go back. Like, well, you know what? That's a area that I chose to be in because I believe in aiding the people. I believe in the constable office and the natural nature of the office. I know the literature. So therefore, that's what I chose to do with my life. You know, I want to serve the people in a certain manner, and that's the way I chose to serve the people. So there's nothing much I can say about that. If I desire to go back, who are you to, be upset with me, because this is my choice. After these charges get dropped, after these charges get overturned, we're going to speak that into an existence, because it shouldn't be there. I am looking to retake my position. Now, if someone gets in the way of that, and they have the authority to get in the way of that, or the juice to maliciously get in the way of that, then it is what it is, All right, guys, that's my time. I greatly appreciate you guys listening. For those that are sticking by me and understanding that this has been a malicious attack all the way through, I greatly appreciate you guys. And I know I can't do a lot of this without you. So I greatly appreciate you guys hanging on, holding dear to the support. Understand, Wiggs is a solid guy, and I've always have been. Keep me in your prayers. Peace.